Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Um, I tell you, you could have been just about any place else in the world, and you decided to be here. So, thank you all very much for that. Um, okay. All right. Okay. Let me see here. Helen Marmon, thank you so much for being first. And okay, I'm going to bring up my slides so we can get to it. What a great day. What a fantastic day in the city, New York City. If it's one thing I love, that is Meghan in New York City. I think when the Sussexes are older, for certain, they're going to relocate there. They are going to relocate to New York City for sure. Okay. Let me throw this last minute photo up. You know what? I got a feeling that I'm going to be one more photo for a while now because there are so many great images of our faves, especially Meghan. So bear with me while I grab those as they come along. You know how we do. You know how we do. Okay. All right. Hello to Tara Levette, Andrea Smith, Emma D, Sharon Skinner, New City Gardener. Oh, you know what? Let me get my slides up. I forgot I needed to do that. Okay. All right. And there we go. Slides are on the way. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for being here. Joan Garcia, Marcia Ware, Marie Lucas, MJB. All right. Come on, slides. There we go. Huh, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? I think that is perfect. I think that is perfect. So let me get comfortable so we can get into it. Or, as Tisha Tells would say, hey, what's up, Sussex Squad? Come on in here, you guys. Come on in here. Close the door behind you so we can get into it. Hey, what's up, Sussex Squad? Elaine Parker, thank you so much for 43 months membership. So good to be here, Baron. I am glad that you are here, and I feel likewise. It's so good for me to be here. And early today, right? Yes. I feel the same. Glad to be here. Glad to be with family. Okay. So, let me take that out the way there. Take a look here. So, the office of Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, time 100 2025. The time 100 2025. Now, for the header photo, this is the one that the team selected at the Archwell. This encapsulates the entire atmosphere of joy. Meghan is speaking about herself and business and such, which is always a treat. So today, you know what? I'll just let you guys have some photos to look at. This is the arrival. You guys, this is the arrival. I loved it. I loved it. She got out the car like the boss that she is. I mean, after all, she's not just the Duchess of Sussex. She's a CEO of her own business. She got her own business and she's CEO. Okay. So it says today at the 2025 Time 100 Summit in New York City, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, joined Jessica Sibley, CEO of Time magazine, for a dynamic conversation. The discussion offered a rare and insightful look into Meghan's evolving role as a female founder, strategic business leader, and let's not forget her most important role, working mother. She's a working mother, she's a working mom. Throughout the conversation, Meghan reflected on the intentionality that drives her work, leading with purpose, creating with care, and building a legacy that champions women and uplifts communities. She spoke candidly about her entrepreneurial journey and latest ventures. The conversation also explored how Meghan finds balance between her public role and private life. She offered a grounded and personal perspective on motherhood, creativity, and carving out space for what matters most. Meghan discussed the remarkable success of With Love Meghan, which debuted in the global top 10 across 37 countries and is now preparing for a highly anticipated second season. She described it as a joyful and unconventional take on the traditional lifestyle show, one that merges storytelling, friendship, and creativity with practical how to's. Can you stand it? So there's more, but let's take a look at the arrival. So the hand that you see right there, that is one of the security guards. If you saw the video, one of the guards was practically um, having a hissy fit because he, they're like, oh, we got it. Don't block. No, I think they said, move your hand. I got to get the shot. Move your, you know, compared to some of the ones that I've, heard from a distance, I think for the most part, they are very respectful. And I'm so glad for that. Um, Now, of course, if you have listened to Anita of My Duke and I, she tells a different story. She said are very fucking people, but um, at least within earshot from here, it seemed like they were very respectful, and I am glad for that because you know we all know that some of the paparazzi sometimes they try to trigger people, in particular Prince Harry. And back in the day, that would have been easy, but Harry is sublime. He is too happy with his life to be bothered with that nonsense. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker and for being a member of Royal Sussex. And Deborah Anderson, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for joining us. Okay. Let me go to another photo here. I love it. By the way, that is a view of Manhattan looking south toward the financial district. That is south, right? Anyway, there, that is a view toward the financial district. Wall Street, don't you know? Anyway, it was a fantastic day. And let's take a look at another one here. So the outfit. Now, if you're gonna wear the oversized, the baggy trousers, that is the way you do it. That is, I mean, it is super chic, super casual, and super Duchess of Sussex. So the Archwell continues here. It says, she also spoke about Confessions of a Female Founder, her new podcast produced in partnership with Limonada Media. Within weeks of launch, it hit the #1 spot in Apple's business podcast category and continues to be in the top 10 overall. Each episode features candid conversations with trailblazing women in business, offering both inspiration and practical insight for aspiring entrepreneurs. The conversation also touched on, as ever, Meghan's recently launched consumer brand, the debut season collection featuring 8 thoughtfully designed products sold out in under an hour, following nearly 1 million signups ahead of the launch. Oh, I didn't know that there was 1 million people that signed up. No wonder they sold out so fast. Even if just 10% of the people that signed up were shopping, that would have, almost crashed the system. Let's see here. From the raspberry spread in a keepsake packaging to the heartfelt brand story behind each item, as ever, resonated deeply with customers worldwide, with high demand for markets across North America. Ah, Harry looks so dapper there. As she discussed the creative and strategic process behind these ventures, Meghan emphasized the importance of building brands with integrity and authenticity. She remains deeply involved in every detail, describing her work not just as business, but as an extension of herself. And lastly, it says, whether through media, mentorship, or mission driven entrepreneurship, Meghan continues to redefine legacy, focusing not only on success, but on service, storytelling, and meaningful change. So that is what they have at the Archwell website. Um, that's got to be a very cool job working at Archwell. Okay. Perlina answers, thank you for being here. Jetstar. Wow, a lot of members. Thank you for those memberships, Sonia Johnson. Let's see. Sonia Johnson says, hey, squaddies, I'm in Long Island, New York, just popping in to ask for prayers for my friend Anne, who, according to the doctors, is losing her battle with cancer. I'm here with her, and we are there with you. So we are with you. And yes, we will pray not just for your friend, but also for you and your friend's family. So thank you so much for popping in and sharing that with us. And of course, we will keep you in our prayers. Okay, let me see. I'm going to go back a little bit further. See what jumps out at me. Hey, Big Mama. Big Mama jumped out at me. Let's see. Mary H. Hey. All right. Oh, looks like Little Mac wants to say hi to a few people. We can help out with that. And Joan Garcia wants to say hi to a few people. We can help out with that. We like to be helpful. Okay. And let's go to the next one. Oh, flawless. The hair serum is working overtime. As a matter of fact, it never not works. Flawless, our Duchess. But can we talk about how tan both she and Harry looks there? Can we talk about how tan, relaxed, beautiful, glowing they appear? Absolutely glowing. Do you hear me? Absolutely glowing. They look beautiful. They look beautiful. Absolutely. I am so impressed. Okay, let me go to the next one. Oh, not that one, but this one. So I don't know who those people are. To be honest with you, I don't know. I think the lady is the one that she was just speaking to, whatever her name is, Jessica Sibley, and the guy. Well, I'm sure he's. And thank God, Time Magazine hasn't been hollowed out by one of those tabloid companies. Y'all know which one that I'm speaking of. Thank goodness they have not been hollowed out, because once they take over, let me see if I can share a couple of the clips that's been floating around today. Oh, yes, yes. Let me see if I can share a couple of those clips that's been floating around. And okay. Give me just a second here. While I attempt to share those clips with you. All right. Carlita Simone, thank you for being here. And let me see, Joya Moore, Naomi Maria. Oh, I like that one too. Now, I promise you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know who this lady is, but look at Meghan's hair. That is the real story, right? I mean, yes, I get it. She's in New York now. Look at Meghan's hair. You all know she invested in that serum, right? You all know she invested in that serum. So I am going to make sure that we do not miss an opportunity to notice that the hair game is going on. Now, remember, what is it called? Something hippie? Highbrow hippie. The highbrow hippie. Katie Lee. That is Katie Lee's creation. And Katie Lee does have another business partner, right? But Meghan is an investor. Anyway, Meghan invested in it, and the hair serum game is really hot right now. As you remember, Katie Lee said everybody was relieved when she said she was working on a serum instead of another shampoo and conditioner set. So that is what you get for your money. Up, up, walk, walk. You better walk, girl. Walk. So, you guys know that the conversation that she had with that lady is available on the YouTube, but I'm going to sample bits of it so that we can discuss it if you like, as we often do. I'm going to sample just some bits of it so we can discuss it. So let me get that set up. But before I do that, let me see what I can share with you from today. Let me this one. Oh, okay. Okay, I think this one is okay.
So all things to be talking about. Let's talk about flower sprinkles. But let's, because I think it speaks to the tiny moments of joy that are so effortless and just create a little bit of magic that we're all craving in our everyday. They're tiny little flower petals that are dried. I started putting them on salads. I started putting them on scrambled eggs. It didn't actually matter. On a yogurt parfait.
So Meghan was actually discussing the flower petals. The host, the host brought it up. She was like, yeah, and we also talked about the actor who is obsessed with those flower petals. And Meghan was like, okay, it's time 100. That's probably what we should talk about. She compared herself to like the flower petal fairy or something to that relation to her. But she said she just started sprinkling it on stuff. And if I can somewhat paraphrase, it's just one of those things that makes you happy. It's something that can elevate an otherwise very, obscure plain moment. Joan Lawman, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex and supporting this channel. Greatly appreciate it. And also a longtime supporter, if I can add. Okay. All right, I'm going to take that away. And I'm going to get back over here. So this was the setting, the time 100. TED Talk is coming up next, right? You all know that Meghan is going to be called for the TED Talk. I'm surprised that they haven't had Harry do it, unless they've asked them and both of them turned them down for now, which is a possibility. They may have been asked already, and but I don't think they would have any problem. Especially Meghan, she won't have a problem. Harry, he's good with unprepared remarks, but I don't know how he does with, having that much time on the stage, because I believe you are not allowed to bring notes or anything, right? You have to speak off the cuff. I don't doubt that he will be just fine, but it would be interesting to see how he navigates that. But Meghan, as you know, she's quite gifted with the spontaneous stuff. So I don't think she would have a problem. But yeah, so that was the setting. Let me take a look at a couple of your comments. Okay. I'm going to go back and scroll through some comments here. Oh, thank you. Is it Shakina? Thank you so much for that. I'm glad you caught us too. Joan Garcia has a Baron, everyone acts surprised Meghan is joyful. I recall Meghan was joyful as a little advocate in school and acting, travel with friends, greeting fans when working in suits. The TIG haters failed. Yeah, there's still, it was something else just today where they found some obscure person, apparently someone that they could pay to start up the, I won't even say what it is, but the usual thing about Meghan's character and all that kind of stuff. What I love is when someone said that, I think it was a guy who hadn't been, this guy wasn't following all of the royal stuff. And he saw Suits, when the Suits big revival, of the Suits. And he was confused because he could not associate these dreadful things that they're saying in the UK and the Meghan that he's looking at on Suits. He didn't know that they were the same person. It was a lot of people who just were not paying attention or did not know, that could not make the association, because either they've been watching Meghan in Suits all these years and everything and kind of heard about the wedding, but it's just so weird. They don't make that association because that's not who she is. This is like some creation from Kensington Palace, right? Some construct that they've come up with, like some mad scientist or Jason Knopf, and they decided, okay, we don't know what's going to come out in that Oprah interview. It's just unfortunate that a big lie like that, and they're still getting so much mileage out of it. They're getting so much mileage out of it, and they managed to pull it out every time they're trying to slow the Sussexes down. And the thing is, aside from some of those hardcore monarchists and royalists and Tim Wilson, nobody's paying that stuff any attention. Thank you so much, Joan Garcia. Nobody's paying that stuff any attention. It is a fool's errand. Look at the joy. Look at the joy. Radiant. Absolutely radiant. As ever. Absolutely radiant. Okay. All right. Now, let me just do this. I'm going to lift a little bit of the sound from today's video. Just a little bit. And again, don't forget, it is available. You can watch the entire, I believe it was like a little over 16 minutes. Yeah, the entire 16 minutes and 24 seconds is available.
We're so excited to have you here today. And I first want to just say congratulations to you on everything that you've done and everything that you're doing. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a very full, it's been a full few months. Full year. Sure, yeah. So this conversation is about her journey, your journey. And I want to start. We have 20 minutes? Yeah, we do. We have a journey. We do. We can go over just one chapter. Your journey. I want to talk about you as a founder, as a CEO, as an innovator, as a creator, as an investor. We have the CEO of Netflix here. I did binge your show with Love, Meghan. There's nothing you can't do, which is amazing. But talk about how this became a business. Well, with I think always credit where credit's due. You know, I know Ted Sarandos will be here later on today, and Ted has been such an incredible partner in the partnership my husband and I have had with Netflix for the past few years. And then Bella Bajaria as well has just been so incredibly supportive. And I think just naturally, I was doing what I've always loved to do. And people couldn't see that more broadly, but what I'd love to do was always make things in my kitchen, do small flower arrangements, pick a lot of jam. And when I was sending those as gifts, one day Bella said, "There's a show here." And I hadn't at the onset thought that that was something that I wanted to share in that way. And creatively, we worked as partners to really find a way for it to land and for me to be able to share it and just have fun, which is really, I think, the goal in this chapter for me, certainly. And then you just watch the extensions of that, where Netflix coming on as my business partner for the brand, as ever, is really an extension of the evolution of our partnership together, and they complement each other. Well, what I love about the show.
Okay. Now that is something I didn't know. I'm just thinking, all right, Meghan had this idea from the TIG and so on and so forth. Well, yes and no. I'm sure Meghan in the past would have been thinking, yes, I would like to, do more of that stuff. But I don't think she saw herself like on mainstream television or even with Netflix. And so it was, did she say Bella Bajara, who was like, we got to get you on there. We got to get you on there. Now, that is a revelation. Let's see if the super hypercritical, cruel, mean-spirited tabloid media is going to run that story. Or are they just going to ignore it and, pretend otherwise? Kathy G, thank you so much for 39 months membership. Let's see. Love wins. Hey, everyone. Well, hey to you too. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for 39 months. Kevin Slim says, like James O'Brien said, they are just better. Oh, right. They are just better. Better at PR, more media savvy, more articulate, more empathetic, more accomplished, and more attractive. That's why the British media hates them. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for the super chat. But yeah, that, you know what, that is epic. I think you deserve more than just a bell. Because that was super right on time. Here we go. There you go. They are just better. They are better. And you all know what the other ones are. But yeah, Harry and Meghan, they are a power couple. I mean, that phrase, that term has been used so many times, but I don't know anyone right now that is more suited to use that title. Well, not even use it, because that's something that they would never say about themselves. But you know what I mean. They are a power couple, and the energy, the way that they move with each other is just so natural and so authentic. So natural and authentic. But those other people,
Bitter. And somebody needs to say it. Bitter. Bitter, bitter, bitter.
they're bitter. They are bitter, bitter, bitter. Okay, let's hear just a little bit more.
Raise your hand if you've seen the show. Okay. If you haven't, Ted's gonna be very happy, and Megan's gonna be very happy. You're all gonna be watching the show. It's amazing. What I love about the show is that you bring in your family, you bring in your friends, you bring in like the team, the crew, you make them part of the show.
That was very important to me.
And so talk to me a little bit about you care for so many people, and you talk about joy and love.
The crew. That was a nice touch. That was a nice touch. The way that they have the exchange, Meghan and I think the director, if that's his proper title. And of course, the fact that I mean, with any show, you assume that they're going to get some food, that the crew is going to have food. And with Love Meghan, it's not like Meghan and whoever's there with her. You've actually seen the crew chomping down on the food and their real-time reactions. And I love when the one guy, I think it was the director, when he whipped those headphones off so he could really enjoy his food. Okay, that's me. I want everything optimal so I can enjoy the food in its natural habitat. That's what I want. I don't want any distractions. Let me enjoy my food. Turn the sound down. Stop walking back and forth. Let me enjoy my food. But yeah, that was pretty cool. All right, so let me sample just a little bit more. Sharon Fraser, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here.
Everything that you do comes with caring for the people that are on your show and around you. Your CEO, there's a lot of glam, but we know there's a lot of grit and grind. How do you care for yourself?
Well, thank you for asking that. Well, look, I think part of what's really, really important is that love language of taking care of people also really feeds me. And I think that is in many ways part of my self-care, which can feel confusing for a lot of people. You go, well, how do you show up for all these people and not feel depleted? But a lot of times, if you're doing it in a way where you are giving in a way that is thoughtful and intentional and so authentic, it actually energizes you as opposed to depleting you. So as an example, when you mentioned the crew as a character, when I said, how are we going to do a cooking show or a crafting show that doesn't feel like a typical stand and stir, which we all remember from back in the days, we stand and look at camera and you're stirring something. I didn't necessarily want to do that. And I didn't want a reality show. And so the only way to feel as though you were still in conversation with me, I felt, was I had to be talking to the people in the room with me. And that was the crew. And, on Suits, we had a crew of over 200 people. So, and on this show, it's a crew of 80 people, which also...
80 people? 80 people? They wanted Meghan to bring 80 people to her house. Let me say that one more time. 80 people. They wanted Meghan to bring 80 people to her house where her children are and where the dogs are running and 80 people. And as I said some time ago, if for no other reason, um, if for some reason a photo of the interior of that house appears somewhere, that's an excellent way to avoid any hurt feelings. Okay? Let me show you Meghan's kitchen one more time and compare this. Use your memory of the the kitchen at the other house, which I think was ideal and perfect because it's so open and it had several entrances in and out of it.
It's good without you.
It's really good without. Because once you get to the bottom, it tastes all the banana. Is that a look of joy? I was like,
I'm muted.
dun dun dun. My mom has nothing
I'll
to
tell you when
say.
I'm done.
Okay, so there you go. It's a beautiful kitchen, and I'm sure it's got a nice size to it. But aside from everything else I said, I know, there's not going to be 80 people inside of the kitchen, but even if it's 10, even if it's 5, that's 5 or 10 people too many in the kitchen where you and your family live. So no, absolutely not.
When people said, "Why didn't you do it in your house?" It's like, well, my kids are coming home for their nap, and 80 people in the kitchen isn't really the childhood memory I would love for them to have. So we're really fortunate to find something close by. But I think, look, all of that is part of how I take care of myself, and tapping into what really ignites my joy is part of that. And being creative has really, really been anchored in that for this moment. And
So that being said, you don't have to explain yourself when it comes to your home. Your home is your fortress of solitude. And as far as I'm concerned, the Sussexes have worked too hard, have been through too much to compromise their comfort and their security and peace of mind because of the critical nature of people who don't know you, that you'll never meet, and otherwise are just a bunch of keyboard warriors. So no, no, no. Oh yes, we saw those big trailers. Yeah. Welcome to Montecito. This is a gated community. Please bring all those trailers in here. Whereas the other place seemed to be like a standalone farm of some sort. That is an excellent point. Yeah, because I remember seeing that overhead view, and there was a bunch of trailers out there. Compton Caligal says, I'm in California. Traffic, that's for someone else. I've been here since the start. My Tesla is driving itself so I can participate in the chat. I love it. I love it. I got to get one of those. Okay. You guys, I just wanted to share this with you. I kind of zoomed into one of the photos, and do you see what I see? I'm not going to even tell you what I see. I'm going to let you tell me what you see. And let me just do some more of this, and you tell me what you see.
The series has already been renewed.
yes,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's been renewed and filmed, but
It
that's
has.
okay. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Season 2 is coming.
So that's your like first platform, or one of your platforms. The second is your product line, as ever. It's my understanding the first drop was sold out in 20 minutes.
45 minutes.
Okay, 45 minutes.
But yes, after a year of work and development and manufacturing.
Okay. So, yes, that's it. What I see is someone whose husband said, I will protect you. And she believes him. She believes in him. Now, this is the two of them making their way through a doorway. And just prior to that, she was smiling as she left. And or as they were making their exit, she was smiling with the people that's back in the room there or hallway. And then as there's, going through this threshold, the camera just caught her looking at him. I mean, with those, those kind eyes of hers. I thought that was such a beautiful moment. A split second it was, but there she is. See what I mean? She's smiling. And then as they narrow to the doorway, it's just like she's following his lead. You promised to protect me. And she's following his lead. I just thought that was absolutely beautiful. Just one of those little subtle things that if you weren't paying attention, you might have missed it. I actually had to zoom in on the photo. It's actually a head to toe photo, more like these. And that caught my eye, and I'm just like, wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. So, right on, Harry. By the way, someone sent me a Cash App. Thank you so much for that. Of course, I don't want to say the name, but let me see here. Let's see. Oh, thank you. You're doing your membership like that. I really do appreciate that. Thanks for not forgetting about us. And thank you for the Cash App. And also, and speaking of someone who does a membership away from the computer, Jerry White, thank you very much for keeping up with your membership. And then here, there is Beverly Jackson has a super chat. Baron, did you ever hear the story of why Ina Garden stopped filming her in her kitchen? The crew overflowed her sewage system. No, I did not hear that one. I did not hear that one, but I could imagine how that happened. And it's not okay. It was probably food related or something, but well, I guess the other way is food related too. But yeah, I get what you're saying. That they overwhelmed her sewage system. That would be enough to make you stop. That would be enough. Thank you for the super chat. And also, let me remind people, one of Tyler Perry's earlier movies, I believe it was Diary of a Mad Black Woman, he allowed filming in his own personal Atlanta mansion, and he said, never again. Trying to save some money, being in a familiar space, and, blah, blah, blah. Never again. Not to be repeated. Now, of course, there's just too many places out there that you can rent. You don't run the risk of, going into a problem with your insurance company should the worst happen. So, yeah, there you go. Of OPM, other people's money. OPH, other people's house. So, yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I did not know that, but wow, that's that brings so many it conjures up so many interesting visions. That it does. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that one because I'd like to know. But yeah, so pleasant as could be on the way out. Harry's longtime bodyguard is with them. And I was going to save this for later because it was just something I threw on there last minute. So let me see. This is number 23. Let me go down here to the absolute last slide. Oh my goodness. Why do I have so many slides? Prince Harry, Meghan Markle bring back abnormal security. You know where this came from. I don't even need to tell you. Stop hating. Stop hating. The reason why they need the quote unquote abnormal security is because of those haters, the hate campaign from the tabloid media, right? And of course, from the, what do you call it? From the Kensington Palace. I'm more than certain of that. Elements of the Kensington Palace and so on. So, like I said, Harry promised to keep her safe, and he is handling his business. He's doing his job. And if you just want to go even further, some of those grisly looking people that are so called reporters and journalists, good God, have you seen the state of them? They all talk about body image problems. I think one of them's husband has a husband of his own now. What else? One of them say that her mother compared her to Satan. They all have some really dark, seedy things going on in their lives. Real and imagined, whatever. Things involving themselves, their loved ones, their parents, whatever it is. These are the people that are standing in judgment. And don't even get me started with the most glaringly obvious reason why it is so misplaced. Representation matters. These are not Black journalists, none of them. These are not Black editors that have these scathing articles being so critical of Meghan. They don't recognize their bias, and if they do, they wouldn't admit to it. But they just cannot stand that this Black woman from America is doing all these amazing things. They could not stand that she made this whole idea of being a royal princess look so easy. But for her, it did come easy because she's better equipped, better suited for that type of life, that type of work. It could have worked. They didn't want it to work. They wanted to take. They wanted them to jump through hoops. They wanted to embarrass and belittle them, leaking information to the press and so on. And the best answer that they can come up with is she should have stayed and just played the game. And I'm just like, we can hear you, right? Did you just say stay and play the game, admitting that it is a game? And what's at the end of the thing for you? When you get to the end of it, what's in it for you? A plot at the Frogmore Cemetery? Being immortalized in a bunch of biographies and made for TV movies? No, thank you. None of which will make you look like you've had, an ideal life. No, that's okay. That y'all got Margaret. Y'all got Margaret. You don't need Harry and Meghan too, right? You got Margaret, you got Sarah, you got Sophie, you got all those people. You don't need Harry and Meghan too. Thank you, but no thanks. I'd rather live. Just imagine. She should have played the game. Why didn't she just play the game? As opposed to sitting on the stage, using your platform to uplift and elevate everyone around you, people who will never know you or meet you, or stay and play the game. Have some crumbs at King Charles' table. I don't think so. Oh, let me see. Happy Wednesday. May today be full of heartwarming moments that make you smile from ear to ear. Oh, somebody has been listening. I got a nice little video card. That is super, super sweet. I love it. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, somebody knows me, huh? All right. Let's do a little bit more of this. I don't know how much more of this I want to sample, but
We had a feeling that it would have some buzz surrounding it. 45 minutes was not something I could have anticipated. I'm super grateful for the support. Yes.
Such a surprise. I'm so excited. Thanks. And your third platform, which I love, is your podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder. You've had some of the most incredible women on your show. You're really supporting women, and I love that. We need more of that. What are your confessions?
Well, as a female founder, there are quite a lot of them on the episodes, I will say. So Confessions of a Female Founder felt as though it was the perfect complement for what I was building at this point in my life. Between the series and between the brand, I thought, how interesting is it to be able to listen to the conversations of someone building a business while they're doing it? And that includes all of the pivots and twists and turns and redirections that happen. As any entrepreneur will tell you, every day is full of surprises.
okay, I'm going to speed through this.
And, on the show, the other show, on the Netflix series, I will say Surprise and Delight. In the business of building, they're not always delightful surprises, but they are great teachable moments. And so I think some of the confessions that I have shared on the show include, I'll give you an example, the unboxing experience, where I was so concerned on the aesthetic of how something would be received, because it goes back to presentation and hospitality in so many ways. I said, do we have the dimensions on the box? I said, but I need to get the dimensions. They were finally able to give them to me, what the 3PL was going to have in the tissue paper, but I needed to see it and feel it. I needed my hands in it, which I think is part of, for me, my authentic self is really being involved in the creative and the granular. So I went online, I bought all these cardboard boxes, bought all the tissue paper and the filler and everything that should go inside. And I just sat there in my kitchen, replicating this unboxing until I realized I think this is going to be the right metric and size that we're looking for. But the confession of that is that's not glamorous. That's not what I think people imagine I'm doing in my kitchen, but it's important. And a lot of those are revealed throughout the 8 episodes of the series with Limonada, which is a female-founded podcast production company that I'm working with. They're fantastic. But I think confession for you today that I could very comfortably say is I'm the happiest that I've ever been. And that part, to have a partner and a husband who is just so supportive, and to have healthy kids that are so joyful in the freeness of their life and the safety of their life that we create for them. Of all the things that have happened in my life, I never would have imagined getting here at this point. I would feel just so happy and grateful, and I really do.
Well, there you go. Happy and grateful. All right. Yeah, she absolutely does. She's glowing. She's actually just, as far as I can see it, she's just glowing, radiant. It's a long way from the tour of South Africa. She is a long way from that tour of, in South Africa, where she looked so broken and so vulnerable. And of course, it was that moment when, was that when Harry announced the lawsuit? I think it was. I believe that was when Harry had anyway, what impressed me though, well, not impressed me, but what was so jarring as far as I can tell is that the press were like, why would they announce this now? And, they wanted Harry and Meghan to be okay with the abuse. They wanted Harry to bring a family into that institution for the convenience of abuse, to be abused by the institution, to be abused and mocked by the press. Now, I get that that institution goes back 1,000 years, but it's not okay. And Harry said very clearly, just because, oh, my darling boy, we've all been through it before. Oh, my darling boy, we've all been through it. That don't mean that I need to go through it anymore. That don't mean that you're going to put my wife through it. It certainly don't mean that you're going to put my child through it. You're keeping a list in your head of offenses from the people that you are sending on tour to cover them. And then when they need the engagement, they'll write some horrendous hatchet job. I mean, this is not just my opinion. There have been too many people that have said you could write whatever you want about Harry and Meghan, but hands off Will and Kate. What does that mean? We'd rather have this Meghan as opposed to whatever they had planned for them. Well, no, we'd rather have this Meghan. Stay mad. Stay mad. Yeah, stay mad. Yep, some more of their exit. Look at there. I believe that look that they're giving each other means success. You were awesome. I would love to see a photo of Harry watching in the audience or wherever he was. I would love to see that photo. So far, nothing like that has come up, but I would love to see that. Yep, so far I don't see anything like that. And I'm just thinking about when they were at the South by Southwest. Harry was in the audience with Meghan's friend Marcus, and the very gleeful look he had on his face, that proud look that he had. I mean, literally clinging to every word. But you know what, guys? I think a lot of the pressure may be off of Harry and Meghan soon, because they seem to have found themselves some new chew toys. And that, of course, is the Obamas. It's been a while since they've had so much speculation about what they're thinking and doing and feeling and saying. But you would think that Michelle was running for public office. You would think that she was running for public office. Seriously. Because they have been all over them. You know, it's like a little phase, but I am fascinated by that. I am very fascinated by that. Let me see. The People's Duchess, thank you for joining us. All right, let me go here. Again, this is their exit from Gotham City. Oh, yes, that's right. She did, didn't she? Yes, she did. Oh, there's the papers. That is the Scottish Daily Mail, and that is the UK version of the Daily Mail. No Fred and Gladys. No Willie and Kitty. Interesting. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Louis. Today is Louis's birthday. Yeah. Yeah, today is Louis's birthday. I think that means that there were bells at Westminster Abbey. Meghan for mayor of Montecito. Only if they can run that obnoxious, remember the one that used to be a reporter, and he lives in Montecito, or he says he does, the one that they claim is Meghan's neighbor. Even though she lives in a gated community where he's not welcome, that guy, the little pudgy, angry pensioner, the one that's always saying that Meghan has no place there and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, if she can, or if somebody can run him out of town, then I will make a substantial donation to that campaign. Thank you very much, Kevin Slims, for the super sticker, a super chat. Now, I do have a video for this one. Let me go ahead and grab that. Okay. Yeah, this is fun. This is a fun one.
Hi, Katie. I heard that you have a great podcast that just came out.
Confessions of a Female Founder.
I think that's what it is.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
You're so good in it, Katie.
Yeah, you're amazing.
I hope everyone listens.
Love you.
So, this guy, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot his name. He's in the salon with Katie Lee. I think he's like a colorist or something like that. I think both of them do like extraordinary hair color. But yeah, he is like a superstar hairstylist. And he was at that party they had when Katie Lee launched her serum. So that's where you've seen him before. But I think that's very sweet. The little cameo that Meghan has in this video. Yeah, if you guys know what his name is, please let me know. I do apologize. I do not have it here. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Is it too late to say? I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Oh, thank you, Serge Normant. That's it, Serge Normant. Thank you very much. And don't forget, you guys, Meghan did post some things on her Instagram. She's posted something on the Meghan, and she's also posted some things on As Ever. So do make sure that you go over and like those things. And let me see. Oh, yes. It looks like she's, if you do have Instagram, do make sure that you share the things that are related to As Ever and With Love Meghan, because she posts a lot of stuff that people have made, like on the As Ever. I don't know who this person is. Oh, Sam Livingston. She posted Sam Livingston his crepe. She posted someone's crepe. So she's looking at everyone's Instagram is what I'm trying to say. So if that is important to you, there is an excellent chance that like when you get your products or whatever, she may share it. She's shared a whole bunch of unboxings and videos and such from, some of everybody. So I'm just saying, if that's something that you're interested in, do it and see what happens. Make sure you put, what is it, the hashtag or whatever, just to make sure she can see it, and you're good. So that would be a lot of fun. All right. Let me. Oh, that's where I was, right there. Oh, the name is up at the top. I put that up there. And I put that up there myself. I literally put that up there myself and totally forgot about it. Oh, you guys, have I been doing this too long? Is it time for me to retire? Is it time for me to hang up my microphone? Does that sound weird? Um, it was right there the whole time. Lord have mercy. Now, this is a Vanity Fair article covering that. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I think we covered all of that. Meghan jokingly apologized to CEO Ted Sarandos, another guest at the annual event, for sharing the secret. By the way, I have an update from Ted Sarandos, not about the Sussexes, but about the Netflix. And I think it is really going to bake your noodles. So stick around for that. Shall we sample just a little bit more of
Well, let's see. Love how a journalist from Business Insider lived your life for a week, or tried to live the show for a week.
Okay, that I didn't hear about. What was their week
Oh,
like?
my team's like, don't talk about it.
What was the week
Other
like?
media company, but
So
I
funny.
love that, and you can you not on the script. You can live this life. You've brought this life to the world in such a beautiful way. And backstage we were just talking about, we kind of need hope. I like to say fun, but hope. And you're really focused on that. So
Well, I think
we appreciate it.
Thank you. I mean, I think hope maybe is one word for it. Also, just people wanting to reconnect with each other, really wanting to have a sense of community and to feel grounded in something that's real and that's not that complicated. I think as a working mom, and again, these are 3 projects that we're all launching really at the same time. So behind the scenes for the past year and a half have been incredibly busy and ambitious, but to see it all come to life and try to give yourself the space and the grace to make mistakes, to know that you're not going to get it right every day, and at the same time to prioritize what we're going to put out as our next tranche of SKUs, as equally important to me as Archie losing his first tooth this week, which is about to happen, and I just hope we're back home in time for it.
So, as they were saying, well, speaking of being inspired by Meghan's work, right? I mentioned this on Easter. And just like, okay, I know this sounds super corny. I was just like, how could I justify spending $250 on an confectionate purse that looks like a real purse? The real purse is, the one on the far right. And next to it is the chocolate purse, which looks so real. You can actually even lift it up by the handles, although I wouldn't put too much stress on it. So, how could I justify purchasing something like that? And do you remember my response? I said that I would have a party. I would get, gloves for everyone and those Chinese food containers. And we're going to smash that thing up. And whatever we don't eat, the guests can take the stuff home in their Chinese food boxes. And it's like a nice way to have a party or to finish off a dinner or something like that, which means that I would be entertaining, right? And I would actually have that as a dessert. And I'm just like, why am I thinking about stuff like this? Well, the reason why is because of Meghan. I mean, it's just like ever since watching With Love Meghan, I've been just like trying to elevate every little thing I do. Every little thing, I'm trying to elevate something. As opposed to thinking about tariffs, thinking about tax time, all of those things that would really tax on your mind. Instead, I can think about my edible flower sprinkles. I made cookies the other day. I don't know when was the last time I made a cookie. I made cookies the other day. I even improvised and did the little raspberry cookie thing. So if that is the impact that With Love Megan has on the viewer, as so many people on TikTok and other media has been saying, where's the problem? What's wrong with that? What is so horrible about people spending more time in their kitchen or in their garden or doing something? I never made spaghetti before. As crazy as it sounds, I never made spaghetti. That was my absolute first time making spaghetti. Never made it before. And why did I make it? Because of Meghan. Because of With Love Megan. So it's a win-win for everybody. And it's just a shame that there's so many people dedicating time here, there to go after her or to maintain this vendetta, which is fine. You know what? The rest of us are just going to enjoy it. Just like a handful of people are going to enjoy that chocolate egg, which has hazelnuts in it. I love hazelnuts and chocolate. Perfect combination. Lovely. Because you're not even doing it to keep up with the Joneses. You're doing it to spark joy within yourself. And that is the power of Meghan, the Meghan effect, with self-care. Here. Thank you so much for saying that. And of course, I think that warrants all right. Thank you very much for that. That was awesome. All right. So, beautiful stage, nice setting. Meghan and Harry were both honored in Time 2021 list of 100 influential people, but Meghan spoke solo during this year's event. In her conversation with Sibley, Meghan discussed the process that went into launching her as ever. Okay, I don't think we need any of that. Yeah, I think we've covered that already. Now, here's the thing that Meghan mentioned. Well, let me see if that's coming up next. I'll let you hear Meghan say it.
That it all matters and how it becomes so micro. How do you just stay focused, minimize the noise, not get distracted? Give us some like tools, tactics. We all have that in our lives. Well, when I was backstage listening to Ryan speak and he gave that quote, which you all would have heard, what did he say? Tina Fey said, if you're feeling good about yourself, just, you don't want to, what did he say verbatim? Feeling good about yourself, go online. Right. Yeah. Just go online. So I don't do that. I've made a very, very conscious effort to create boundaries for myself and for my mental health, for my well-being, and certainly to role model that as well for my children. I'm conscious of not just raising a very strong and confident young woman, but also having a son. I think it's just as paramount of importance for young men to be raised with a confidence and sense of self that is going to empower the women around them too. So I try to model that behavior, but again, like it starts with whatever's going on internally. And when I am able to not even just tune out whatever that noise is, to really not give it any credence, that has become so much a part of my day-to-day life. And things will get brought to my attention if on a need-to-know basis. Outside of that, I'm kind of late on the boat for a lot of things going on, and I'm okay with that. That's part of what I find to bring me peace. It also helps me have very, very strategic focus on the intention of the products, the creative or the producerial work that we're doing that I want to bring to the table. So it does give me a lot of space to focus because I'm not in the same swirl that a lot of us find ourselves in.
Yes, which is a good time to make this point. Do not let this social media consume you. I said it before, I will say it again. If you need to take a step away from it, do it. We will be here. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be here when you get back. We are here through the best of times and some of the worst of times. We'll be here, but you have to protect your mental health. Meghan is protecting her mental health. How would it look for you to have some kind of a meltdown or breakdown of some sort because not just only because of the Sussexes, but with everything else that's going on? There are some heavy topics floating through the airways every day, things that you cannot fix on your own. And all of the concentrating and hand wringing is not going to fix it. It is not for you alone to worry about it, and you alone cannot fix it. So, there's been many a squatty who said, if Harry and Meghan are not worrying about it, why should I overwhelm myself with it? And that is an excellent question. They are okay. They're going to be okay. They are going to be okay. I know there's stuff that comes up that seems like it's just gut wrenching, like the whole little drama with the fake doctor and the stuff with the courts and the security and so on and so forth. They're going to be okay. They're very, very smart. They got some incredible people around them. Let's not forget, Harry has a long-term relationship with the one bodyguard, but when it's like really something big going on, then that's when the former Secret Service agent guy gets involved, especially going overseas. So they're not alone. They're not in this fight by themselves. Yes, they got us, but they got a lot of well-paid, intelligent people that are surrounding them. They got friends and family and friends that are family that are blanketing them with love and care and all of those other things that you could possibly want. So don't worry about it. Don't let it get the better of you. Let someone else be concerned and worried, and take some time for yourself whenever you need to do that. Okay, let's see if what I was actually looking for is coming up.
Well, speaking of the Ryan interview, I was with the journalist who did the interview. We were in the green room, and I said, "Give me some tips. What should I ask Meghan?"
You don't need tips.
Oh,
You're doing great.
always need tips. And she said, "Flower sprinkles."
Oh my gosh.
Talk about flower sprinkles.
You would think it's like a little fairy if I could just be tossing them around all the time. The obsession that has come with flower sprinkles.
Explain to this audience who might not have watched the show yet about flower sprinkles.
So I just, it sounds so all things to be talking about for time 100. Let's talk about flower sprinkles. Because I think it speaks to the tiny moments of joy that are so effortless and just create a little bit of magic that we're all craving in our everyday. They're tiny little flower petals that are dried. I started putting them on salads. I started putting them on scrambled eggs. It didn't actually matter on a yogurt parfait. The level of charm that you find people have when they see these tiny little dried petals is something I can't.
You know what? I think we actually did that earlier.
My head around.
And as a CEO, you're going to patent that. And that's one of our Women of the Year in February to work with. And she said, to get
people things about season 2, and Ted will come here later, but I can apologize in advance for saying, Jose.
Okay, I'm sorry. I jumped past the question. She was asking, who is it you would like to have on your podcast? No, not the podcast, the With Love Meghan. Who is it you would like to have that you haven't that you haven't had so far? So this is her response.
Vanessa is going to be on season 2. We love Jose so much. So I think my wish list has been.
So she just said Jose, meaning Chef Jose Andres. And right there, you can see Meghan Sussex reveals at the Time 100 Summit that Chef Jose Andres will appear on season 2 of With Love Meghan. So that means this fall, we're going to actually see Chef, and well, some of you all may have seen him in the kitchen already. I don't think I've ever like really seen him in a kitchen. I've seen him like in battlefields and stuff, but not kitchens. So I'm looking forward to that. And also, you know, I I want to say Chef Andreas was at the LA staging area when they had the fires. Wasn't he there? And there's that really sweet photo of him with his arm around Meghan, and it was just this guy. I I don't know if they've ever submitted him for the Nobel Peace Prize, but he really deserves it because he has worked miracles. What better way to serve humanity than feeding people? Feeding people without any regards for the politics of the day or religion. It's just so simple. Feed people. Uh, get together with local restaurants and food distributors and feed people. Whether it is a tornado in the Midwest, a hurricane in Florida, or uh, Ukraine, he's been all over the place. So there you go. All right, let me do this one.
I've been fortunate to have the people that I want on the show. And if I think of someone else, I'm going to have to figure out a way to tell you so you could put that out there. But no, I've been really lucky. We have a great lineup.
And we're out of time, but we said we might go over a few minutes.
I told you can't fit a full journey in 20 minutes.
And
Okay, so y'all know I'm about to drag somebody. You know that, right? I'm finna drag somebody. Let me see. The People's Duchess says, I love how safe and protected those children are. Yes, 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 yes. And they have some amazing people. You know, I heard Aretha Franklin say that she would wake up sometimes and go down in the living room, and here are these music legends that are in the house. And then she sits at the piano and sings for them and such. And the stories that Archie and Lily will tell about meeting this person and that person, and the stories that they're going to tell. That's all I can say is the stories that they're going to tell. In a very tasteful and respectful way, of course, but the stories they are going to tell, because they have a lot of people like the Sussex squad and a lot of celebrities and A-listers and B-listers, whoever, that are part of that circle. And even Katie V, if you listen to the podcast with Katie V, and I'm sorry, Katie Lee, I believe it was Meghan who said that the kids are always looking for Aunt Katie. Where's Aunt Katie? And those kids are going to be amazing. They are going to be absolutely amazing. So looking forward. Thank you so much for the super chat. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Now, someone was saying, now that is how you wear those wide leg pants. That is how you wear them. Poor Sophie, she just does not stop trying, does she? She keeps putting that little pudgy prehistoric body of hers in some of the most interesting outfits. She's a stout little person, designed for things like monsoon, hurricane, tornado, very squat to the ground, lots of muscle tissue and such. And so she keeps wearing these outfits, not necessarily couture or anything like that, but Lord knows she keeps trying. Now, I'm not saying that she looks bad, but Eh. Sophie and these big leg pants, she just, I don't know what it is, but it's not for her. And she just keeps doing it. Whether it's a jumpsuit, leather, vinyl, whatever she's wearing, she just won't let up. Give it a rest, girl. It's not for you. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. This is like fashion terrorism. You see there? There she is disguised as a lazy boy recliner. There she is disguised as a lazy boy love seat recliner. There she is disguised as Gumby. When will this reign of terror end? And I know she got to be hot. See there? See those plump arms of hers sticking outside of that whatever she got on? But she just keeps doing it. There's plenty of, you got to know your body type. You know what I'm saying? You got to know your body type. If you put on a jumpsuit and you turn sideways and you look like Skipper from Gilligan's Island, stop wearing that jumpsuit. Stop wearing that jumpsuit. What was his name? Hal Williams? If you turn sideways and you look... If you turn sideways and you look like Hal Williams, stop wearing it. She actually wore that to the Royal Ascot. She just will not give up this dream of wearing a jumpsuit with the big leg pants. She just keeps trying and trying, and it never works. It never works. This whole V-neck, I don't even know what to call it. Then she's got the big belt on, and then she has the studded handbag. You can't tell her she's not causing it. You just cannot tell her she's not causing it. She thinks she is the belle of the ball. The same person who showed up one Easter wearing this apology of a dress. There somewhere there is a city bus. I don't know what country, what city, I don't know what province, but there's a city bus that is missing its seat covers. And I think I know where you can find them. I don't even know what to call that. What is that? If that was my shower curtain, I would probably I'd probably pee in a bucket. I wouldn't even want to go in there. That is the stuff of nightmares. There's got to be something that suits her. I mean, that she looks like a Victorian school teacher. Like she ought to be ringing a school bell somewhere. It just does not work. It doesn't work. She needs a stylist. She needs to listen to a stylist. I just don't get what goes so wrong. Well, apparently someone said she has a good figure and access to a lot of fashion lines. Why do their staff sabotage? Why do their staff sabotage them so much? And that's not a saboteur. That is an assassin. Okay? It's not descriptive enough to say saboteur. That is the work of a trained assassin. Oy vey. I wish they wouldn't make me be that person You can see what they wrote up there. But seriously, striking dress. And I think the article said that she was wearing a striking dress, right? This was in response to an article that claimed she was wearing a striking dress. Well, I tell you what, somebody's on strike. It looks like somebody's on strike. It looks like there was some type of labor dispute. If that doesn't look like the product of a labor dispute, I don't know what does. She just keeps doing it, though. I don't understand how this happens. But wait, it gets worse. It gets worse. She wore this to Royal Ascot. What woman? What is you doing? Sophie, Countess of Wessex at Wimbledon. Oh, that was Wimbledon. Good Lord. Oh no, on the right, she wore it again to Wimbledon. On the left, she wore it to Royal Ascot. Imagine that, an outfit so bizarre that she wore it twice. The first time, she looks like she has some confidence, like, oh, this was a good idea. But take a look over there on the right at Wimbledon. Now she is starting to realize, I think I made a mistake. Look at the woman right there in front of her. See how she has cast her eyes down? That's because she's on her phone tweeting. Girl, you won't believe this. I'm right here in front. I'm right here in front of the Countess of Wessex. I wish you could see what this appalling outfit that she's wearing. Everybody's looking at her. Yeah, that's what she's doing. She's texting. I can't even see the phone, but I know she's texting. She's texting, and she probably took a selfie with Sophie in the background, just in case they didn't believe her. I don't believe it. Sophie, Countess of Wessex, at the time she was 53, wore a stunning light blue jumpsuit at Wimbledon today. She chose the same designer worn by Meghan Markle in Dublin last night. So I don't even know who the designer is, and I would rather not know. I don't want to know who that designer is. But Sophie, Countess of Wessex at Wimbledon, wears a 2,000-pound outfit inspired by Meghan Markle. The hell you say? The hell you say? That ain't inspired by Meghan. That is despised, I'm sure, but not inspired. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. The thing is, Meghan has a regal, serene, elegant figure. She is meant to be a royal princess, whereas Sophie has that very squat, somewhat muscular figure. Barmaid. She'd make a wonderful barmaid. At some old pub at the end of the lane, she would be a perfect barmaid. She has that, that kind of squat-like dimensions where it's kind of hard to knock her over. So that way, you know how those drunkards be bumping into people and stuff? This way, she would never spill the ale because she's rugged and low to the floor. She's built rugged and low to the floor, so it'd be so difficult to knock her over. Now, don't ask me how I managed to get their x-rays, because I'll never tell. But if you just look at the skeletal weight distribution, you can see, I mean, let's say 1,000 years from now, an archaeologist could easily see the one that was of royal noble birth, and they could easily see the one that were meant to harvest wheat. or barley or whatever. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. She keeps trying though. I'll give her that. She keeps trying. Now, I'm going to be very fair, you guys. I was fair the other day. I'm going to do it again. The best I've ever seen Sophie look was another occasion when she was trying to be Meghan. And that was when she went to church Easter in 2024. She looks beautiful. I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to be shady. She looks beautiful. She's wearing a purple, I believe it's an Armani coat. She's wearing a white beret, just like Meghan had on back in 2018, I think it was. And she looks beautiful. I've never seen her look better. She looks so elegant, so ladylike. It's not frumpy. It's not too what is the word I'm looking for? It's not too aggressive. She's not being too aggressive. She looks beautiful. So if I was her, I would definitely tone it down. Stop trying to be something that you're not. You don't have the dimensions to carry those looks. You just don't. Give those clothes away to anybody who will have them. Some charity shop, one of those bins at the supermarket or something. But stop wearing that stuff. This is the best, and I do mean the best I've ever seen her look. She looks like, excuse me, it's not exactly Emily in Paris, but it's good. It's not a hat covered with all kind of flourishments and nonsense, and it's just sweet and elegant. Just like Meghan was when she wore it first in 2018. That's it. No shade, but stop trying so hard because you're really letting down the side. Nobody is going to tell her, but I will because, that's my good girlfriend. And I ain't got it in for her. Well, yes, I do. I take that back. Y'all know why I don't like her, but do better. Stop trying to be so ambitious. Number one, you're too old. And number two, you just don't have the body for it. You just don't. Vaughn says, tell Barney. That kind of snuck up on me. Tell Barney with the wide leg wearing and yellow snagger-tooth to have a seat. You know what? I think I can find someone so much more qualified than myself to say the exact same thing. And it's been a while. So, Nina?
Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Stars, they come and go. Woo! Well, thank you, Vaughn. And thank you so much for the super chat. That one kind of snuck up on me. Anyway, you guys, and look at Edwina's suit. Now, Edward is wearing a lovely navy suit, which just happens to be what Harry wore when Meghan wore the white coat with the beret. And I'm telling you guys, I remember that day when Meghan wore that white coat with the beret. That was all they talked about. That was all they talked about was Meghan with the white coat and beret. And honestly, the collar is not even supposed to go up. The collar is not even supposed to go up, but Meghan turned it up, and it was a huge success. I don't know if you can see it, but the tone of the collar is just a little bit lighter than the rest of the coat, but it worked. And you know why it worked? Because Meghan has style. You see, fashion is something you can buy. Style is either something you have or you don't have. You understand what I'm saying? So, someone with style and great taste could literally turn up a collar that otherwise should lay down, and it's all people talked about. So, that's why I say, give it a rest, Sophie. It's not your strong suit. Not your strong suit, but I'm going to give her credit for one of the best moments fashion wise in her life. And yeah. Oh, let me put that up at the top. Oh, wait. Don't move up. Stop moving. There we go. All right. I'm going to pin that up there at the top of the chat. The People's Duchess. There's a link to another Sussex friendly space. So remember, do support all of these Sussex friendly spaces because the Sussexes can take care of themselves, but we're still going to take care of them. Whether or not they want us to, it ain't none of their business what we do or who we drag, but we're going to do it. So, again, there's the link up there at the top of the chat. Always like, share, and subscribe. The People's Duchess. Okay. Now, the Danish royal house confirms that former monarch Queen Marguerite gifted her granddaughter the turquoise daisy bandeau diadem as an 18th birthday gift. Well, that was very nice. Now, she just turned 18, right? And for her 18th birthday, she decided that she would, wear that's a beautiful gown. I was kind of confused because I'm looking at the gown and I'm like, wait a minute, she's not from the Netherlands. Why is she wearing orange? Because the House of Orange in the Netherlands. But no, this is a princess from the Danish royal family. Well, she decided to do things her own way. As they asked earlier, I want you to take a look. Do you see anything unusual about these official portraits? Do you see anything unusual about these official portraits? Anything unusual? Let's go here and let's go there. Anything unusual? Yes, the cell phone. She actually posed for an official portrait holding a cell phone, something that otherwise would have been unheard of. But, well, these are modern times. And it's kind of a classic pose because in those paintings, when they paint those portraits, a lot of paintings features the subject holding a book, right? I promise you that iPhone has more access to more information than any library book or any other reference you could think of. I mean, it has the World Wide Web at the fingertips. So this is the first. As far as I know, this is the first that a royal princess has posed for a photo, an official portrait on their birthday, no less, holding an iPhone. Very modern. I love it. Now, are we almost done? Almost. I still got somebody else to drag. God, I got too many slides. How Prince Louis has forged a special bond with his grandparents, rather. Grandparents. He lived there, don't he? They should be bonded. He lives there, doesn't he? He sure as crap don't live with his daddy. He don't live with his mama. He over there with the grandparents, with the other kids. Mama and daddy out kicking it. So, yeah, I can see why there's a special bond. The only one William care about is the oldest one. And Kate, she's just glad they got nannies. So, what's up? What's up? Anyway, Glow says Meghan Sussex is keeping the tabloid industry going in the UK. The true interest in working royals is low. That's why, despite the fact Meghan has not been a working royal for 5 years, they are covering her like she is the Chris Taliban ship? Like she and Chris Taliban ship is working way past that Wednesday for overtime payment. Now, that is a reference to Chris Ship with a P, not a T, Chris Ship, who said that after Wednesday, I don't think that Harry and Meghan is going to be part of my brief, meaning that since they stepped back from official royal duty, he didn't see any cause to cover them, right? That was some famous last words. Well, Chris Ship with a P, not a T, hasn't stopped talking about them since. And of course, he's the whole Taliban thing. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, so I love Glow. Glow makes some amazing videos, you guys. And I have told you all, she only comes out with a video maybe once a month or so, but they are always in chronological order. They establish a train of consistent behavior from that institution and all of their minions. And it's incredible work. It's incredible work. I feel like I'm watching a professional documentary. She's funny, informative, and she covers a lot of stuff that will get you up to speed. I mean, whenever I can, I try to explain stuff like, the Chris Ship Wednesday thing. But Glow does an amazing job of it. So I reference her quite a lot. Carolita Simone, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you as always for watching Royal Sussex. You know what? I forgot the name. What is Glow's channel? I forgot what it is. Is Duchess Royal? Maybe? Oh Lord, I didn't forget. I mean, I know it when I see it, but some of us, our channels kind of run together, the names. You know what I'm saying? The names kind of run together. So, I don't know. Well, anyway, I will make reference to her again. So if you don't get a chance to, I'll make sure that I'll bring it up again. Oh, it's Duchess Royal. Really? That's pretty. Okay. Well, if that's Duchess Royal and that's the People's Duchess, what am I now? What am I? Let me see. What is this channel? Royal Sussex. Okay. See what I mean? They all running together. They're all running together. I can never remember. All you got to do is put it in the right order, and that's the start. So, anyway, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. That's it, Royal Sussex. That's who I am, Royal Sussex. Yes, Royal Sussex. not Sussex Royal. That was Harry and Meghan, Royal Sussex. Oh, thank you, Lydia. I'm going to post that right now before I forget. Now that is, wait, how do I do that? Oh, okay. That is it right there at the top of the chat. I'm telling you, you will get caught up on a lot of things that we reference, and you're just like, what is that? She'll get you caught up. She'll get you caught up. Yes, they might be videos from stuff that have happened already. Watch them anyway. She has the only videos I go back and watch twice, and that's the truth. I always watch them twice because I don't want to miss anything. Okay, moving on. Ted Sarandos, I love him. He just seems so cool. You know what I'm saying? He's all about the business. Well, he made an announcement. Netflix aims to be a $1 trillion company. A $1 trillion company. Now, that's one thing. But the fact that Harry and Meghan are central to their long-term plans, right? That they're central to their long-term plans. And the thing is, I know that the derangers and the commentators and such, they're always trying to say, "Oh, their contract is up. Their contract is up." So what? When it is up, when it ain't up, it does not matter. They are still Harry and Meghan. And I'm sure that Netflix will rather have them in the fold than not have them in the fold. Because look at it like this. For a lot of people, The Crown put the movie making component of Netflix on the map. They were already doing extraordinary things. But I think that may have been one of their biggest, if not the biggest, series was The Crown. Harry and Meghan, they stepped back from official royal duty. Okay? Want to tie those pieces together? Or do I need to do it for you? I think they're going to be there for a while. That's what I think. Anything can happen, but he has a clear vision, and the Sussexes and some other things are part of that. Okay? So I whatever happens is going to happen. But I think if I was them, I'd say, hey, better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. Okay? Because they make money. They make money. Even for things that have nothing to do with them, they make money. Let's see. Shakina, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being here on Royal Sussex. So yes, now, what is so important about being $1 trillion company? Well, the wealth of nations, there's only a few nations that have a GDP that is greater than $1 trillion. So, like, for instance, what is it? The United States, how many $1 trillion is it? It's a lot. Is it what, 40, 50 trillion, something like that? Don't ask me how much debt we're in, because that's in the trillions too. Amazon may be $1 trillion company. Apple has been $1 trillion company. There's only a few companies. Exxon Mobil. There's only a few companies in this world that can say that they have a valuation of $1 trillion. Okay? So if I was in a contract with an entertainment company a streaming service, I would definitely want to be a part of that $1 trillion company. So that is their goal. I don't know how much they're worth right now, but that is the vision, is to turn Netflix into a $1 trillion company. And that is very ambitious. And one of the reasons why I say it's ambitious is because think about it like this. They have their own original content. Disney movies makes $1 billion here, $1 billion there. They don't even have access to the Disney portfolio anymore. They don't have any access to that unless Disney makes an exception. It's because Disney noticed how much money Netflix was making and was just like, hey, we want in on that. We want in on that. Apple saw how much money Netflix was making and they wanted in on it. So right now, Netflix is the number one streaming. The number one streaming. Sorry about the bell. All of this, and let's think about something. I want to remind you guys that Blockbuster was approached by the people from Netflix who was renting DVDs by mail. You could go to the machine, get your DVD, and return it by mail or whatever. They were doing rentals like that, but they felt that the company wasn't growing fast enough, so they went to Blockbusters and said, hey, we got a good thing going here. Why don't we merge? Why don't we join forces? Huh? Wouldn't that be cool? And Blockbusters was like, get out of here. We ain't doing no such thing. I believe there may be one Blockbuster store left. That was so stupid. How short-sighted can you be? Just imagine if we were streaming from Blockbusters instead of Netflix. It would have been a win-win for everybody. Well, thank God Blockbusters said they weren't interested. They were not interested in joining forces with Netflix, who very soon is going to be a $1 trillion company. Duh. I wish I could see the look on the person's face when they hear Ted Sarandos say that they're going to turn it into a $1 billion company. Netflix aims to be a $1 trillion company, says CEO. At Semaphor's 2025 World Economy Summit on Wednesday, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos said he believes Netflix's long-term goal to achieve a $1 trillion market capitalization is possible if the streaming giant continues to perform well. Sarandos said in the previous 5 years, we've doubled our revenue, we've grew profits 10 times, and we grew our market cap 3 times. So there is a path to it, obviously, but is always incredibly dependent on executing well. He seems to confirm a report from the Wall Street Journal earlier this month in which Netflix executives indicated that the company aims to achieve this goal as well as double its revenue by 2030. They are looking ahead to 2030. Notably, Sarandos mentioned that Netflix could achieve its goals solely through its streaming business. However, the company also intends to explore additional ventures. The Broadway opening of Stranger Things, The First Shadow, took place in March. Netflix is set to open retail spaces in Philadelphia and Dallas this year. Oh, are they partners with any of those companies? Yeah, as ever, remember? Meghan has partnered with Netflix. Oh, you guys, just imagine the possibilities. Just imagine the possibilities. Yes, it does look kind of weird. I'll say that. It looks kind of weird. I mean, a retail space for a streaming service. Wait and see. Just wait and see. And we'll just see what happens, right? But if it has something to do with Harry and Meghan, I'm going to buy it. Coco, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. Thank you very, very much. Also, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but listen, while everybody's counting Harry and Meghan's money, now I don't know this to be true, but I have speculated about this before, and that's all it is speculation. A lot of people in the industry, especially very smart people with amazing lawyers, are paid with stock options, right? So I don't know if Netflix pays anybody with stock options. I don't know if they pay everybody with stock options, but let me tell you how lucrative that can be. Just recently, I heard a story from Charles Barkley about some $3 million deal that he had with, I don't know if it was Adidas or Nike or whatever. And Michael Jordan said, "Why are you getting paid so much? Do you need $3 million?" And of course, Charles Barkley was like, "What do you mean? Why?" He said, "Because you do better if you take stock options." He said, "Have them pay you $1 million and get the rest in stock options." Need I say more? Michael Jordan is a billionaire because of stock options. Oprah Winfrey is a billionaire because of stock options. Not a salary, stock options. It's called a piece of the action. That wasn't just a movie from the 1970s. It is a way of life for some people. You want those stock options. It's like having residuals. You want as much as you can get. So, what am I saying? I don't know how they pay Harry and Meghan. Nobody knows what's in their contract. So when you hear people saying, "Oh, that $100 million contract, is it $100 million? Do they pay them cash? Do they pay them only cash?" Think about it. Harry and Meghan may be more comfortable than we could ever imagine, notwithstanding all the other investments that they've made. They are around people that are some real heavy hitters. Okay? They're around some very powerful people. That's why I say they're going to be all right. They are going to be all right. Don't you worry. Well, I hope it is true. I hope it is true that there's some stock options in a $1 trillion company. I hope they get to $1 trillion as soon as possible. You know, I've had my account since what, 2010, whatever. I'll keep it a little while longer. I don't want to upset the apple cart. So, oh, all right. So we're good. We are good. Oh, that's what I just shared with you right there. Ooh, okay. I got stock options with my last job. It's pretty common in the States. Trust and believe, though, she got those stock options. Hello. Hello. You know, people can have a lot of money and move very quietly through life. I'm gonna tell you one more Michael Jordan story. Nobody knew that Michael Jordan was a billionaire. Nobody. Until they made that one manager who had some very racist tendencies. They told him that he had to sell his basketball team, which was the worst performing team in all of the NBA. What was it, the Wizards or something? The worst performing team. People were shocked when they found out that the value of that team was $1 billion. So some very intrepid financial people started doing some math, and they say, if he got that much money for his team, and Michael Jordan owns a big part of that team, jumping Jack Flash, Michael Jordan is a billionaire. Michael Jordan ain't say nothing. He ain't gonna ever say anything. He's a billionaire. That's how it happens. That is how it happens. He made so much money from his stock options at Nike, he was able to buy into an NBA team. And as part of the NBA, you know, when they sell merch, I don't know if the NBA for certain do this, but when they sell merch, you get a piece of the action for all teams. I think that's how it works. When those major league teams sell merch, everybody gets a piece of the action, even if your merch is not the most popular. I think that that's divided amongst the teams. I think so, but don't quote me on that. If that is the case, when you're in it, you're of it, and you reap all the benefits just like the other owners. How about that? Look it up. Look it up. Yeah. And I want them to be a billionaire like I want the air that I breathe, because it is going to shut down a whole lot of people. They can keep, you know, throwing tomatoes if they want to, but it's going to shut a lot of people down, because it means so much to the haters for people to believe that they are struggling and on their last leg, and that they're gonna have no place to go but back over to Kensington Palace and live in that Nottingham cottage. That's what they want people to believe. They're going to be so far removed from that, it won't even be funny. If they were desperate, Harry and Meghan would be doing commercials. They ain't doing commercials. They ain't gonna ever do commercials because they ain't gonna never be that hard up. Trust and believe. Everybody loves a winner. Now, we talked about this yesterday. Hair care in honor of Black History Month. Don't forget to hold them ears, sis. Remember that? We're gonna finish up tonight talking about hair. Zandy Sussex posted this picture earlier. Oh my God, haven't laughed this much in a long time. Episode 3 of Confessions of a Female Founder brought back memories of the good old stretching comb. I never heard it called that before, but I guess that makes sense. You can't even remember how we used heat. I'm sorry, how we used to heat it up. You can't even remember how we used to heat it up. Yes, the good old-fashioned pressing comb. You know, those hairdressers, some of them, they have the hardest fingertips from touching those irons. You know what I'm saying? Especially those hot curlers. You know, those thin hot curlers, the ones that you put on the stove, and they make those, real small feathered curls. I mean, they just sit up there. They be burning the crap out of their fingertips. And it's like it don't mean nothing to them. I'm like, wow, didn't that hurt? Does that hurt? That's got to hurt. So someone else posted this one on the left side. I forgot who posted that, but check it out. That is how you heat them up. You just lay them on that eye. You put them on the stove and lay it on top of that flame, and the excess grease and hair that, may have been inadvertently left on it burns away. And, well, you take it off and pull it right through that hair again. Ingenious. Amazing. Wonder who thought of that. Yes, the straightening comb. I'm used to people calling it a straightening comb. The old stove and that grease. Yep. Exactly. Well, it gets the job done. It gets the job done. And let me see. Meghan Markle, my grandmother used to do this to my hair when I was little. I went looking in my archives and I found all kind of pictures in there. And this is one. I vaguely remember this one, but this is a Squatty account, by the way. And forgot how long ago it was, but when the discussion of Meghan's hair came up, I believe it was when Mariah Carey was on with Meghan. That's when they had that first big discussion about Meghan's hair. And someone posted that then, and I just still had it. And then take a look here. There's some hairstyles from the 60s. How about the 1970s? Right? Take a good look at those. I think for the 60s, my favorite is the 1964. That kind of Audrey Hepburn looking hair. She got those big curls. And then let me see, for the 70s, I don't know. The 70s has got to be the afro. It's got to be the afro for the 70s. Well, they got that Farrah Fawcett look there. 1976 Farrah Fawcett. And what is 79? Is that Get Christy Love or what? And 71, I remember that. That's the mother from the Partridge Family, right? Mrs. Partridge. That was either Florence Henderson or Mrs. Partridge. Huh. I think these are actually, well, no. I was going to say, are these supposed to, the strangest thing is, I don't even know where these came from, but they were in my photos for some reason. And I don't know why or when or where I got those. I just saved them for something. And then take a look on the left. There is the 1980s. And of course, the 1982, that's supposed to be Grace Jones. 81, that is Princess Diana. The 1980, I'm going to say that's Pat Benatar. Love is a battlefield. The other ones, 1986, Tina Turner. Now, those are the ones I can identify. But the rest of those people, I have no clue who they are. So if that's who they are, then let's go back here. Who are these people? Y'all recognize any of them? Okay, the 1976, clearly Farrah Fawcett. The 77, I was thinking Liza Minnelli for some reason. So who is 1964? Huh, interesting. Oh, well. Dorothy Hamill? Okay. Let me see. The Dorothy Hamill. Are any of these styles her? She had that little pixie cut or whatever, right? Well, Dorothy Hamill couldn't be any of those. She would have to be 80 something. Oh, the good old fashioned finger waves. Didn't they used to call it that butter? Let me look at that butter. I see you got your butter done. And of course, everybody knows what the kitchens are, right? Oh, 66 was Twiggy. I think you're right. Oh, 64 was Liz Taylor. Let's go back. I'm sorry, let's go back. 64 was Liz Taylor. Oh, you guys are getting into this, huh? Thank you. I appreciate it. So 64, Audrey Hepburn. That's what I thought. Oh, so My Fair Lady came out in 64. Got it. And 64 could be Cleopatra. I don't think so. But they did come out the same year, right? I think that's more Audrey. Well, that's a toss-up. That's a toss-up, the 64 for sure. Maybe it's supposed to be both. Oh, Zabeta, I am so glad to hear that. That is the best compliment. I promise you it is. I love hearing that. Bridget Bardot, 1965. Yes. Yes. And 87 could be Whitney Houston. Okay. Okay. Or is that Mariah? Whitney. Whitney. You know, I don't know if I have any for the 90s. That would be cool if I did. That would be so cool if I did. Let me see if I can do that. Do you guys mind? See if I have one for the 90s. Do you mind? Do you mind? Let me see. I mean, it'd be fun if we did. If we could. If we might. Wait, how long have I been on here? Okay. Okay. I see what I'm sharing with you right now. I do not see one for the 90s. Or do I? Okay, I tell you what, guys, I'm going to try to remember to do this another day because I see a whole bunch of stuff that I want to share. So we'll do this again another day because it's fun. And you guys are so good at this. 1968, coffee. Coffee. Okay. See what I'm saying? 1960 is Diane Carroll. Okay. 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 You all are too good at this. Okay, I'm going to go before we get stuck there. Midway through, Mariah Carey, Archetypes, as many girlfriends do to the biracial ladies, have bonded over their thick, curly, natural hair, telling the powerful story of who did your hair, Mariah speaking, the benefit that Meg had, Black mom, black hair, and little girls' common roots. Well, that is true. Mariah's hair is very wispy and thin, whereas Meghan has those really thick, curly locks that have served her so well. So, you know, both biracial, but very much different hair. Oh, Whitney Houston is 88. Okay. So who is 85? Oh, that's Jim. I don't know who Jim is. Okay. Well, I tell you, Pat Benatar, Princess Diana, and of course, Grace Jones. I know them for sure. The rest of them, oh, and Tina Turner. But the rest of them, but I know those four for certain. Pam Grier, 1969. Okay, you guys, I'm going to keep going back looking at these. As much as I am loving this, we have to move on. It is fun, though. It is fun because these are characterizations of people, surely. All right, I'm going to go. Now, over here, my culture is not your hairstyle. Are we talking about appropriation? I'm so sorry if you can't see that well enough, but let me describe it. At the top, there is a couple of characters. One is a blonde white girl with cornrows. The other is a blonde black girl with whatever that is she has on her head. And it really does speak of the hypocrisy that some people have when they start going down that rabbit hole of appropriation. I feel the same way about appropriation as I feel about deciding who is and who is not black. Man your business. Man your business. It ain't none of your business. Everybody is wearing something from another ethnic group, another racial group, another religious group. We're all wearing something that did not originate with our ancestors and wearing it loud and proud. So all I can say is mind your business. Some people hate black blondes. I think it's a cute. I think it's adorable. I think it's more suitable on some people as opposed to others, especially when people have the blonde highlights. It is a great way to frame your face, right? So if you can have blonde highlights, why can't you go completely blonde? Man your business. And if somebody wants to get their hair braided, man your business. That's their business. You got your business, they got their business. Man your business. Stay out of people's hair. Let them do what they need to do. Now, over here on the middle part there, in 1971, journalist Melba Tolliver stood up against WABC TV when she was reprimanded for wearing her natural Afro hair. She had refused to cover it up with a scarf or a wig when reporting on the wedding of President Richard Nixon's daughter, Tricia Nixon. They wanted her to cover up her hair. Cover up her hair as though there's something wrong with her natural hair. You see what I'm saying? Man your business. Leave people alone. Let them wear their hair the way they want to wear their hair. So much easier for everybody involved. Now, the other one, I can barely see that, but I can't see the reply from Dr. Scholler, but it says Ritz apologized after candidate for job was told Afro hairstyles were banned. See what happens when you get in other people's business? That's what happens when you get in other people's business. Stay out of people's business. Let them wear their hair the way they want to wear it. Oh, Tiffany, huh? Okay. Thank you for that. All right. And then right here, Tom Bauer brought a glam squad to Rwanda and suitcase full of fashion outfits. Apparently, I didn't read this myself, but they say that Tom Bauer had wrote in his book, the one that was supposed to be terrifying Meghan, that she was supposed to be scared of because he gonna. Meghan did not bring a glam squad to Rwanda. Right there, it says just me, Meghan, and my camera. No hair, no makeup team, no fashion style or studio lighting. The receipts are too easy. I repeat, the receipts are too easy. There's Meghan, all natural in Rwanda, in a classroom. I think she was traveling for World Vision. That's Meghan. That's Meghan's hair. No glam squad. Meghan's not even wearing makeup there. She's just in Rwanda. That's it. Okay. And over here, Daniel Martin reminded people Meghan Markle is doing her own hair and glam in Nigeria. Makeup artist says. If anybody knows, he knows. When Meghan went to Nigeria, she managed to put together her looks on her own. She's not helpless. She put together her looks on her own. But yet, there's the constant accusations that she needs a team of people every place she goes. And that's just not the case. She has her own natural beauty. She has her inner beauty. She has her outer beauty. She's a beautiful person. She has that light. She has a light. Oh, yes. We talked about that before, right? The Crown Act. That's an acronym for something, right? And it spells out crown. I think I recall that. Yeah, we discussed that before, but thank you for reminding us about that. Let me see if I can look it up right quick. Okay. For those of you that may be unaware of it, the Crown Act. The Crown Act, which stands for Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair, is a law that prohibits race-based hair discrimination. Specifically, it prevents employment and education opportunities from being denied based on hair texture or style, such as braids, locks, twists, and Bantu knots. So yeah, it's an acronym for the that particular thing. Thank you very much for the reminder. Now, Kate Middleton and Prince William deemed too boring for NBC. Okay. And I'm just like, when I was searching, why did that come up? You know why it came up. Prince William slams wife Kate Middleton in biography. She was a dull, cold girl with dirty hair. Ooh. Okay. I'm here for it. She was a dull, cold girl with dirty hair. Really? Kate Middleton? My goodness. Let me see. Professional Kate Middleton lookalike admits she finds Duchess of Cambridge frumpy and boring. Frumpy and boring. And then the other one there, these are all different articles, says Kate Middleton's wardrobe now less interesting than Prince William's officially. Shit. Woo. Now that's just bad. That is terrible. Who writes such things? And then over here, okay, let me set this up for you guys. This person was responding, I think, to a squatty. Now, I cut off the top of this. I saved it's a screenshot of a comment from the comment section. I saved it and I even put the date. You know, I keep a record of certain people for certain reasons. Joined September the 11th, 2022. Now blocked. So I blocked that person. If you look at what she said, you know why I blocked her. Now, again, it's not the name you see there. I cut off the name. Meghan's style and behavior during royal family's shows are she didn't take all the advice she got. She often didn't follow protocol. Now, this person is quoting the tabloids. You know that, don't you? I know it sounds like Professor Tim Wilson, but it's not him. She often didn't follow protocols. She also her clothing often wasn't appropriate. She brought her own hairdresser for an example, which made her hair look messy on her wedding day. It's many royal families in Europe and many different personalities marry into royal families. It's rare to see someone do it do it as bad as Meghan. It's common to use mostly designers from the country you are working for. Again, this person is quoting the tabloids. While she often chose the most expensive Dior, which is French, it's taxpayers' money. Did you hear that? This is taxpayers' money, they say. Meghan's clothes came from the taxpayers' money. Imagine going to Oprah and talk about a family like that. It's rare to do that. Of course, many people that are celebs suffer and have family problems. That's normal. Also, no one can trust her, as you never know. No one can trust her, as you never know who she will talk about publicly. Now do you see why we call them derangers? Because they are deranged. You know that, don't you? They are basket cases. They should be in the booby hatch. That's why we call them derangers. This is why we call them derangers. They crazy. It's taxpayers' money. Meghan's clothes are taxpayers' money, right? Wrong. Let me see. Imagine going on Oprah to talk about a family like that. It's rare to do that. It's so rare that Charles has sat down and talked to someone, right? That's how rare it is. The Duchess of York. The Duke of York spoke about himself, which was about as bad as you can get. And then, of course, let's think about, and I hate to put her down, but let's think about the Duchess of York and the Duchess of Cambridge, both sitting with someone they thought was a wealthy sheik that was going to end all of their financial troubles. And there they are on hidden camera doing what? Talking about that family. I rest my case. I rest my case. It may be rare, but it's sure as crap is not unheard of. So there is nothing that Harry and Meghan has done in or out of that family that has not been done by other people. Now, obviously, the Sussexes will be more successful at some things compared to others, but that's the way life goes. 2 tears in the bucket. I just can't. So the reason why I shared that with you is because I want you to look below. All of this criticism about Meghan's hair, Meghan's clothes, Meghan's this, Meghan's that. Look at what Kitty is doing. Meghan Markle broke royal hair protocol yet again with her bun, or as they called it, messy bun. And what happens? Kate Middleton's elegant bun is a departure from her signature beauty style. And of course, inspired by who? Meghan. Kate's been wearing the wide leg trousers. She's been wearing the long coats and as opposed to the coat dresses. She's been wearing certain designers, like the what are those shoes that she wore? Looked just like Meghan's with the little bow on the back. It's a lot of stuff that you would say, oh, they don't do that. And was it just me, or was Kate wearing bare legs when she stepped out of that state Bentley for the Korean president? I don't think she had on any tights that day. I don't think so. Who is she trying to impress? They have the nerves to talk about Meghan like that. I don't know how many times we have seen Kate's behind because her dress keeps blowing over her head or blowing up in her face, and she just don't know how to stop it from doing that. Huh? How many times have we seen that? This particular person, I'm sure they would have said nothing about that. Kate has been as raunchy and disgusting as anybody who has married into that family could be. Working on a yacht, out for drinks at a party with Sir Richard Branson in the middle of the night, wearing her mama's ugly clothes, throwing her behind out the window at university. Need I go any further? I would love to say, oh, she had a really raunchy past. Well, she had her dress blowing over her head the first few years she married into the family. I didn't think it was a state occasion if you couldn't see her behind. There's no pictures of Meghan in the back of a taxi showing the Holland Tunnel, is it? I don't think so. But Kate, she showed the Holland Tunnel. She showed the Channel. She showed the Big Dig in Boston. You name it, she showed it. And yet they ain't got nothing for her. Nothing. They just can't say anything. And they say, oh, it's not about race. If it's not about race, then what is it? What is it? Why is it everything is so different? There's one rule for Meghan. Whether she was there or not there, the rules were always different. People behaved different. And that's just the truth. Now, Edward Gardner Soft Sheen Products Incorporated, established in 1964. I made this slide some time ago when we were talking about black hair care, and I could see at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can see several products that I recognize. All of these came from Soft Sheen's, Carson Soft Sheen hair care. So if you are African American or somewhere else in the diaspora, you may recognize some of these products. Yep, you should recognize some of these products. Wasn't that theme song, the relaxer called Dark and Lovely? The relaxer called Dark and Lovely. I think that was the little theme song they had. Now, because of the hair serum, I say these have been some of the best hair days that Meghan has ever had. Not that she's ever had any really bad ones in recent memory, but um, February 2024, Whistler, Vancouver. And of course, not long, that was back in 2023 when she had that slick bun. Remember? She was saying that 2024 was going to be amazing. And I mean, just look at how rich the texture of her hair is. It is extraordinary. Extraordinary. She looks exquisite. She who chooses not to embellish herself with a bunch of gaudy jewelry and all that kind of stuff, she lets her own individual style speak for itself. Whereas your magic's in the air, it comes from who knows where. Your mouth, it catches hair, it's extensions. Remember that? Your magic's in the air, it comes from who knows where. Your mouth, it catches hair, it's extensions. It's extensions. Remember that? I made a little play on the song. Your magic's in the air. Yeah. So anyway, I had reworked the song. Instead of it's magic, it's extensions because she wears a lot of them. I'm just saying, I ain't picking on her, but Mother of Medusa, she wears a lot of extensions, and I do mean plenty. She is extensioned out of her mind. It really is the height of tackiness. She looks like a correspondent for Fox News. She really does. It is awful. Her hair is too big. It is too big. It's ridiculous. Somebody should have had a conversation with her some time ago, but I guess everybody wants to avoid the subject. But it's ridiculous. It really is. That's a royal princess, not a Las Vegas showgirl. Start acting like one. Have some respect and dignity for your office or station or whatever. Yeah, very disrespectful. And the Queen would not approve. Would not approve. It says, stop with the photoshopping. At this point, everyone knows Kate Middleton has the face of an English butcher's wife who has been scrubbing floors and doing laundry all day. People are so cruel. Now, I did not write that. Somebody else wrote that. But I don't think that was warranted. They shouldn't have said that. But they keep photoshopping Kate's image. And to be fair, that Photoshop came from one of her derangers. It was not from the press. But I don't like anybody being photoshopped. If they, you know what I'm saying? If they didn't hire a photographer to do that, then I don't think that we should do that. So, I mean, it's okay if it's a parody, but that's clearly not a parody. They're trying to make her look like she's, 20 years old. And trust me, she didn't look like that at 20 or 30 or 16. And as Leg says, the hair has gotten so out of hand that she's starting to remind us of cousin It from the Addams Family. Yes, she is channeling cousin It from the Addams Family. Now, New York City hair salon. We had it confirmed that Princess Kate wears our extensions. So she's actually flying those extensions from New York to the UK, which makes sense because you know what I'm saying? If you take a look here, see how her hair looks like it's about to take off? Well, that looks like something that has flown. So I am so bad. You guys, I am so bad. Let me wrap this up because at this point I'm just this is not nice. But yeah, wigs, extensions, it's all a mess. It is a mess. And I think someone should confront her. Now, Zandy Sussex says it looks like Lady Macbeth buys her wigs and extensions from the $2 store. The Batman dress doesn't help either. Maybe set up a GoFund. You guys, okay, look, let me get through this because this is going too far. Oh wait, is there more? Yeah, wait, that's the Batman dress, by the way. We gotta move on. I'm just, and if that's not enough, it's like the blind leading the blind. It really is like the blind leading the blind. Duchess Sophie spotted leaving Kate Middleton's hairdresser with new. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me try that again. Okay. Duchess Sophie spotted leaving Kate Middleton's hairdresser with new look ahead of coronation. The new Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie, was spotted leaving a hair salon known to be frequented by Kate Middleton. Well, that explains. That explains it. Damn. Okay. Frequented by Kate Middleton after appearing to have had her hair colored, refreshed ahead of King Charles' historic coronation next week. Really? What did they do? What did they do? I'm just asking for a friend. Now you're saying that her hair was colored and what? It was colored and refreshed. Colored, refreshed. Oh, colored, refreshed ahead of. Really? Okay. They don't sell makeup? Let me see here. Kevin Sims says, didn't they derange or Photoshop her face on Meghan and Harry's engagement photo? Oh, that was that Kinsey Schofield. Yes, that was Kinsey Schofield's face on Harry and Meghan's photo. That was the one, that crazy Kinsey Schofield. But thank you for the super chat. Yep, Kinsey Schofield, who seems to be totally obsessed with Meghan. Well, actually obsessed with Harry and thinks that Harry is going to knock on her door in the middle of the night and say, you know, this has all been a terrible misunderstanding. It was you I wanted right from the start. That Kinsey Schofield. Okay, thank you very much. Now, again, notice the very big difference. That scowl Kate gives William, a look of panic and dismay, compared to that ethereal appearance that Meghan has every time she glances at the man she loves, the man who promised to protect her. You see what I mean? I mean, there are so many photos I could have shared of Kate looking at William or William looking at Kate. And it's just like, are you guys all right? Compared to the Sussexes, where you just know they're all right. So just thought I would share that one more time just to drive home the point that there's a vast difference in you know, the way things go. And with that, you guys, I am done. Thank you so much. It is going on 3 hours. I did not believe I would be here so long, but I have really thoroughly enjoyed tonight. It's been an amazing day. I even had time to drag a few people, so that's always fun. And thank you. And thank you to the moderators. Thank you to everyone who has a membership in Royal Sussex. And listen, I I I I know some people think that it's better not to do a membership with YouTube. I prefer it. It's easier for me. It's better for you because you get the you know, direct acknowledgement of your contribution. So I'm grateful to YouTube for making this platform or this software available so that I can do what I'm doing. And this has been like one of the biggest things that I've ever done in life. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for all of you. Thank you for trusting me to do this work. So if you choose to have a membership, it is better with the YouTube. Although some people prefer to do it, you know, privately and discreetly away from all of that, and that works too. But it's an option to do it with the YouTube, and I don't mind at all. Okay, so with that being said, I am going to say goodnight and God bless. Thank you, everyone. And again, keep praying for the Sussexes and, of course, all the squatties that have been ill and recovering and have had things happening with their families. Oh, thank you, Athena. By the way, I love that name, Athena. It's a beautiful name. Oh, thank you, Susie Mom. Good night, Caroline. Good night, Mary H. All right. Okay, we're good. All right. All right. Cheers. Love you guys. I'll see you next time.